AWTP testing. Good evening. Calling all amateur radio operators. Welcome to the Crooked River Amateur Radio Club's Tuesday night VHF net. My name is Pat. My call sign is November 8, Oscar Quebec Papa. But for the purposes of this net, we're going to be using the club call of Whiskey 8 Charlie Romeo Charlie. This is an open and directed net. All amateur radio operators are invited and encouraged to check in with us. All traffic will go through net control, and since emergency traffic can break in here at any time, please try to leave short pauses between transmissions to allow that type of traffic to get in here. The purpose of this net is to bring together all amateur radio operators for the exchanging of amateur-related ideas and information, and also to keep club members and the amateur radio public up to date about club meetings and other happenings in and around this area. It's also to enhance the net operating practice. This net meets every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. local time. We're going to start with announcements, and then I'll ask for check-ins from managers or members of our club or the amateur radio public who have announcements that would like to get in on the front of this net so most everybody can hear it. And those will be of general interest to our net. Once that's complete, I'll ask for regular check-ins please give me your call sign and repeat it phonetically, followed by your name at that time. When all the check-ins are complete, I will close the net, repeating the announcements. And now we're down to the announcements, which I have a couple of. The announcements. There's actually a couple things going on this week. This coming Saturday from noon to 4 p.m., several clubs are activating for POTA. We are hopefully going to be one of the clubs. The plan is to be out at Goodyear Park, or Goodyear Wingfoot Lake State Park, and activate that out there for the club. I've already got it signed up for, and it should be easy enough to put things in once we're done. The other thing that we have is that there's a meeting coming up the 5th of June, and it will be a regular business meeting for the club, the state of the CROC as we call it, and also we'll start wrapping up the things for field day. We'll have one more meeting after that, which is the 18th, I believe. Check my calendar here. That'll be the 19th, which we will pretty much put a lid on all the planning for the upcoming field day thing. And remember that we do have field day coming the 22nd and 23rd of June. You're probably going to hear quite a bit about this. If you're new to amateur radio, this ought to be on your bucket list. This is probably the most fun of the amateur activities that you'll do during the year. Even if it's rains, I won't say snow, but rain, hail, of course, any lightning or anything, you'd probably be in your car somewhere. But all in all, it'll be a fun weekend. If you can't participate with us, please try to get somewhere and get a couple hours in doing it. If you're a tech, you can have access to be able to talk on the HF bands. It's a lot of fun. Okay, that's being all said. I'm going to go ahead and move things on here to, is there any managers, club members, or other announcements of general interest to the amateur radio community? Please come now. Okay, hearing nothing. I hope I'm not here by myself. If you'd like to, we'll go over to regular check-ins now. If you'd like to check in with our net, please call W8CRC now.
W8CRC.
W8CRC. Good evening, Ted, or good afternoon. I'll be back here in a second and see if there's a couple more out here. Is there anybody else? Come now.
KA8GKG.
KA8GKG. Evening, John. Good to have you aboard here. Let's try one or two more, and then if there's not, we'll come back to the top. Anybody else? Come now.
Delta 8, Bravo, Quebec, Sierra, Mobile.
Bravo, Quebec, Sierra. Mr. Steve. Good evening, sir. Try one more time. Anybody else? Okay, let's go back to the top here quick. KBPRK, good evening, Ted. What's going on?
Keith in Uniontown.
Okay, Keith in Uniontown. I walked on you here. I-T-H. What was the call sign again, Keith?
That would be Kilo Echo 8 Tango Quebec Romeo KE8TQR.
All right. Good evening, Keith. Good to have you aboard here. Let's take it back up to the top here. I think we've got 5 or 4 actually, besides myself. Ted, good evening, sir. KBPRK from W8CRC.
What's up, Pat, and everybody else? Not a whole lot going on. I got caught up in one of those little rain showers that came through this afternoon. But since the leaves on the trees are fully grown, I had a place to hang out till it passed. Oh well, that's what you get for being out in the springtime. I guess you heard the news about the explosion out there in Youngstown in one of the downtown buildings. The bottom of the building got blown out by a natural gas explosion. It's been all over the news. I've been watching that. Other than that, not much going on. I'm looking for one of my radio manuals so I can program one of my receivers up. Can never find those manuals when you need them. Well, with that, I'll turn it back to you there, Pat. I'll be listening. KBPRK.
You know, Ted, let me get a break here. Okay, you know, Ted, there was a program that I watch. It's called Bar Rescue. And if I'm not mistaken, that building is housing one of the restaurants that this guy went and rescued. I think it was called the Federal, because the place is on. When I heard the name of the street that thing was on, I thought, well, that's it. And there was a Chase Bank in that building. I'm wondering, but anyway, somebody else might be able to enlighten us down a piece here. Let's move it over to KA8GKG. Good evening, John. How the heck are you? I guess you're out of work.
Good evening, Pat, and hello to everyone on the net. Oh, I'm off work today. I'm off Tuesdays and Wednesdays. And the funny thing is, I usually work Mondays, so I got up and went to work yesterday, holidays and all. I'd never take off for holidays. For crying out loud, I worked Christmas Day, 6 to 9. I was saying 6 to 3 in the morning till 3 in the afternoon. No big deal. So I got to work yesterday, and here I wasn't supposed to be there. I was curious. I thought that just might happen, but hey, at least I showed up. So I took off the rest of the day, went to a family picnic. I got to actually participate with everyone else on the holiday for a change. Other than that, nothing else. Looking forward to QCWA tomorrow, and then Thursday it's back to work for me. But all right, Pat, carry on, and we'll look forward to listening for a few minutes here on the net. 73KA8AG.
Okay, John, thanks for checking in with us. I would have thought being a holiday like that you would have been off, but it was nice of them to tell you, wasn't it? Oh, well, that's the way it works sometimes. No rest for the wicked. All right, now next up is WD8BQS. I wonder what he's got up his sleeve. Probably his arm. What's up, Steve?
Howdy, Pat, and everybody on the net. Still got no internet. Was fighting with those guys this morning, and I just can't believe it. If anybody is thinking about getting one of those AT&T All-Fi hubs, forget it. They don't work. supposedly they're sending me out a new one, but no internet. I've got my phone doing double duty. It's my internet now, so I can watch TV this evening. So not supposed to have a new one out until the 2nd of next month, new unit. But yeah, terrible without an internet. Just can't believe it. I don't know if anybody else is experiencing that, but it's really, you suffer withdrawals, I think. Back to you, Pat.
I would think what you described to me anyway, if they're seeing that boxes online, it just baffles me how it couldn't be putting something out. Or if you may be able to reset that thing somehow. But it's hard to tell.
Yeah, Pat, I did what you said. I downloaded one of those Wi-Fi analyzers, and it is like I get like 5 gig, goes to 0, then it goes up to 10 gig, and then it drops down to 0, and it's like nothing. What's really weird is my upload is stronger than my download, which is the upload's like 5 to 10 gig. So it's kind of really weird. I don't think there's anything coming out of it. I think that's the problem. I think there's something. They tell me I've got 200 and something gig coming into the unit, but there's nothing coming out in the house. So they can't tell me anything other than they think there's something wrong with the hub.
Well, I think what we ought to do is sometime within the next 24 hours, because I've got a lot going on this evening. Sometime within the next 24, we'll have to, if I could see that Wi-Fi analyzer somehow on your phone or through a cam or something like that, or even if you clipped a picture of a snapshot of it, I could probably tell you what's going on there. It just seems strange that thing's not putting anything out. Anyway, if that's all we got for the net, I'll go ahead and move things on here.
Yep, that's it, Pat. We're just looking forward to field day and trying to get things put together here. We've got Dan said he's willing to try to weld some plates together for the tower, so we'll see if we can get at least one of them welded together so we can have a tilt-up base to nail down to the ground, and that won't be cemented in, but we'll use the reinforcing rods to spike it into the ground and see if that'll hold up a 30-foot tower. W8CRC mobile.
Yeah, if he does a good enough job, I may employ him to do one for me, because there's stuff I'd like to. I got a tower that's on the side of the house I need taken down, and I'd like to move it out into the backyard. We'll talk about that at another point. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and move things on, Steve. Let's see, Mr. KE8TQR, Mr. Keith, on this frequency? Wowzers.
W8CRC, KE8TQR. Yes, I'm here, Pat, and thanks for taking my check-in this evening. Appreciate it, and good evening to everyone else here on the net tonight. Yeah, I don't usually have Tuesday nights where I can get down here into the shack and do some radio, but the wife cooked the meal last night for the holiday, and she decided to take tonight off, so here I am down in the shack. Leftovers, and me and the dog are down here, and he's sacked out on the floor, and I'd be joining him, but I got a nice comfy chair. But with that, yeah, I had a great day today. Wasn't too bad. It was a little cooler than it has been. I dodged the rain showers just like Ted did, and I stood under a tree for a little bit on one of them, but I was out there in the backyard working on my tower. Well, actually the grounding for it, because that still isn't finished. Got all the ground rods in last winter, or last year, but I didn't get it all finished up before winter actually hit. So I'm cleaning out the holes, tightening down the bolts on the clamps, and
adding a little bit of copper sulfate because I understand that helps with conductivity since my soil is nothing more than rock, sand, and clay. So there's what I was doing today. But, yep, I'm down here in the radio room, the shack, whatever you want to call it. I was over there on an HF. I was doing a little Wolverine single sideband net. Now that the lightning seems to have dissipated a little bit, I'm taking a chance and getting on some radios tonight. With that, I'll turn it back over to you, Pat. I don't know how often I'll get in here. Hopefully, it'll be every now and then. But good to hear everyone tonight. And with that, I'll send it back to you, Pat. This is KE8TQR saying 73, and God bless.
Okay, Keith, that sounds like a lot of fun. The grounding thing, I'm still not done with mine, and I've been at it for 5 years. There's still some stuff I'd like to get done with it that would probably eliminate more than noise. The grounding thing for me is more noise elimination than it is anything else. So I know what you're going through there. Perhaps I'll get it done once I get this other antenna work done somewhere, hopefully this summer. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and move things on. We're at the bottom of the list here. If you'd like to check in with us, add another call sign or two to the list, please call W8CRC.
W8CTM, Carry at Portage Lakes.
W8CTM. Mr. Carey, what's up, sir?
Well, good evening, Pat, and good evening all the check-ins and everything here. Oh, not much at all, just watching the news, you know, all the crap that goes on. Yeah, I heard about that building in Youngstown there. That's a shame. I hope I don't know if there's anybody hurt or killed on that or not, but oh boy. Anyway, well, I don't have much. I installed a Ring doorbell on my house. I don't know if I haven't needed a doorbell in 40 years, but it does have a good picture with it. That's at least that part of it. I got it mostly so at nighttime, if there's deer come into my yard, I'd like to record that. And I don't know how good a job a Ring doorbell will work, but it does work seems to work all right. Well, I haven't had any deer yet, so I don't know. So, but it does work. Anyway, that's all I have, Pat, so I'll turn it back to Ned. Hope everybody has a great evening out there and a better day tomorrow. 73, everybody. W8CTM.
I take it you got one of Akron's finest doorbells like I did?
Oh, no, Pat, I had to pay for mine. I wasn't in any of the areas where they're giving out the free ones. And, this one here has got infrared and everything for night vision and everything. It looks like it'll be all right, but no, I had to pay for it.
Oh, bummer. I got one of Akron's finest, and it's actually still sitting here on the desk. I haven't put it up yet. We'll get there. Anyway, anybody else want to check in before we close this thing up tonight? If you'd like to check in with us, please call W8CRC.
November 8, Alpha Charlie Papa.
8 Alpha Charlie Papa, ACP. I know that call sign, but I can't put a name to it. Oh, I hate when I do that. Go ahead, tell me.
Warriors, Pat. Good evening to you and everybody else on the net. Name here is Chris, Charlie Hotel, Romeo, India Sierra, Chris up on Cadillac Hill. And it's pretty quiet here today. Nice weather and nice breeze. And we just had a passing, kind of a little dumper. And that was it. No significant electrical stuff. The high bands are still disrupted. Seems like they're getting better, but there's still some disruption from the geomagnetic storms that came in from the sun. They might be coming back around as the sun rotates back around. And let's see, so just working the typical suspects, Europe, Cyprus, Dominican Republic, England, you know, stuff like that. I did pick up the Kennedy Space Center. NASA's doing a, I think it's NASA on the Air event for a whole year, and I've got Houston and Kennedy so far. So those are two new ones for me. That's all the news I've got, Pat. Back to you from November 8 Alpha Charlie Papa.
What frequency did you catch the Space Center on?
Kennedy was on 14241, so 20 meters. And let me scroll up here in my log and see where if I can tell you where I got Houston. Johnson Space Center, Houston was actually on 15 meters. So there you go.
Okay, I'm going to have to look that 20-meter one up. I've been down there so many times. I actually know a couple people that are in that radio club down there, prior acquaintances and stuff like that from when I used to go down there all the time. So I'm going to have to look them up. Appreciate the info, Chris. And as far as your name, I no sooner unkeyed this microphone and I said Chris, and you said my name's Chris. So imagine that. I actually remember the name. Anyway, thanks for the check-in, Chris, and I hope you will frequent us often, I guess. I'll go ahead and move on here. Anybody else want to check in? Please call W8CRC.
November 8, Uniform Kilo Mike.
Hey, UKM. Good afternoon, Chris. Another Chris.
Good afternoon to you and everybody on the net. Hello to Chris, too. Hi. He'll get a laugh out of that. I really don't have anything from net, Pat, but I wanted to check in. I'm trying to remember Tuesdays at 7 to be a regular to check into your net, and I'm glad you guys are getting it running as well as you are, and et cetera. So with that, I will turn it back to you, sir, and the rest of the members of the club. So W8CRC and a UCAM.
You guys aren't going to do anything with the boat event this Saturday, are you?
No, not currently. We don't have any plans. We've made jokes about maybe doing something, a kind of a mock on islands on the air, and try and set up remote and broadcast from all of the islands in the Portage Lakes. We've been playing with that idea, so. But I don't think we have anything scheduled for Saturday.
Yeah, this Saturday thing looks like it's starting to take off. It's just in the local area here. I think there's 5 clubs that are going to activate at the same time. Should be interesting anyway. All right, Chris. Thanks for the check-in, man. We'll talk. And if you decide you want to be part of one, you're always welcome with us. But I know what the situation is there. So have a good afternoon, and anybody else want to check in with us before we close this up, please call W8CRC.
W8CRC, this is Kilo Delta 8 Sierra Lima Golf, KD8 SLG, Nick in Orville, checking in and out.
Okay, KD8, was it? Give me the suffix again.
I'll give you a little more juice, too. Kilo Delta 8 Sierra Lima Golf, SLG.
Okay, the name's Nick. Okay, I did catch that part. Well, good evening, Nick. What's going on?
Not a whole lot. Getting ready for the Sarah Club Net at 8 o'clock tonight here, and we'll be at the. I'll be flipping burgers and burning dogs at the at Portage Lakes doing POTA on Saturday, and I'm setting up a 2-meter rig. We're going to be communicating with the other clubs. We're going to link a couple of the other repeaters up to the W8WKY so we can communicate. I know OKE, the 015 is going to be involved, and I think if we need to, we can link up the 700, the Illyria repeater as well, but OKE has a pretty good footprint, so I think we're going to be able to hit most people with that between the two repeaters, and that's the plan. So hopefully we'll have a good time, have some good weather, and have some fun. KD8SLG, back to net control.
Look us up. We should be, planning on some sort of a, even if it's just one station with a couple of people on it, we'll at least be represented. We're going to probably activate Wingfoot, so look us up.
I've been to Wingfoot. I can't remember the club that did it last year. I think it was P-Cars. I know K8ARB was involved, Brandon. At any rate, so, yeah, and, hunters are cool too, so anybody that just wants to sit at home and get us to rack up some points that way, that works too. So hope to see a bunch of people out there. Should be a good time, and I think we've got 24 sleeps until field day. KD8SLG, I'm clear.
All right, Nick, have a good afternoon, sir, and thanks for checking in with us. It's going to be kind of fun because this won't be the first time our club's actually participated with a few others. So, ought to be fun. Have a good afternoon, and let's see if there's anybody else out here. If you'd like to check in with our net, please call W8CRC.
Copy. Kilo, Echo, 8, Uniform, India, Bravo, KE8, UIB, John in Massillon.
Good evening, John in Massillon. How the heck are things out there?
Things are not bad this evening. I finally got the PL tone right so I could check into this net. I tried a couple weeks back, and my radio just didn't have the PL tone in right, and I got it in time and enough time to make the net. So with that, I just want to say hello from here in Massillon, and I'm just happy I made it. This is KE8UIB. Thank you.
Now tell Jerry I said hello down there. I've known him for, I was actually the one that got him into amateur radio, and I know everybody knows Jerry, at least as far as the Massillon Club goes. So if you see him down there, tell him I said hi. And welcome to, you're welcome to check in anytime there, John. It's, we're usually here every Tuesday night at 7. Just kind of in between all the other nets that are going on. So have a good evening, and we'll talk again. Anybody else want to check in before we wrap this up? Please call W8CRC. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the announcements and take one more round of check-ins if there is any. And then we'll go ahead and close her up for tonight. Remember, coming up this Saturday, there is a POTA event. If you want to join, or if you want to participate with us, get a hold of me or somebody from this club. You can go to crarcham.org, crarcham.org, and you can get a hold of somebody from there, or follow us on Facebook at Crooked River Amateur Radio Club. The information for it will be in both places. If you wanted to check in with us, please do so. Otherwise, if you're participating with one of the other clubs in the area, look for us. We'll be glad to talk to you and rack up them points. Otherwise, we have a meeting coming up June 5th, I think it is, and that'll be one of the two meetings before field day, which we'll be probably discussing a lot of field day in and around that. by the meeting, the 18th, most of the planning should be done, and I'll just be waiting on the event. So, also, if you want to participate in our field day, we're doing one at 1115 Eastwood Avenue in Talmadge. You're always welcome out there, especially we need people to set up and tear down and anything in between. So we're going to be an 3 Alpha, so that will be available whenever you need, or if you happen to be at another station and can check in with us. May break.
Squeezing in at the last minute, KD8OUC, Dale and Solon.
KD8OUC, good evening, Dale. Good evening, what's going on?
Well, to be honest with you, I just finally got this radio hooked back up. It's not been hooked up for about 6 months, and I had to go up and get my 2-meter dipole working again, or the J-pole, I should say. So I was just kind of going up and down the band here and happened to catch you running the net, so I thought I'd stand by and just at least, get in there and say good evening.
I'm glad to have you. It's always a pleasure. Well, we've just started this net back in December, and had pretty good luck with it so far. This has been almost a record check-in night. Hopefully that'll keep going. But we're a new club. We're actually we meet in almost into Ellet at pretty much the corner of where 18 or East Market Street comes into 91. If you're familiar with that area. And, we're always looking for membership and stuff like that. But you being that far away, I don't know if you'd want to make the drive, but it's there if it's open to you if you'd like to. And as far as hooking a radio back up, that's a great. And welcome back to the hobby.
No, I appreciate that, and thanks for the invite. I've been just busy doing other things, and we had a bunch of remodeling taking place in our house, and I had to basically strip out the shack, if you know what I mean, and kind of rebuild it from scratch and rewire it and kind of do it the right way. So anyway, happy to have things kind of organized and in working order. So anyway, it won't tie it up, but thank you once again. This is KD8OUC. Dale. A lot call me DJ Dale. That's another one of those hobbies I have. 73s. Good night.
Okay, Dale. Have a good evening, sir. I'm always welcome here. We meet every Tuesday night, 7. Take care. Anybody else want to check in? Since this is the last round of check-ins, it was all the announcements I had. Anybody else want to check in before we close this up?
KE8, HNK, mobile.
KE8, HNK. That must be Elmer.
It is. I came out to the Jeep to kind of give you one for the numbers. I kind of nodded off, didn't realize it was that time, so I'm just giving you one for the numbers. Everybody have a bright and blessed evening. KE8, HNK mobile, and I'll be clearer.
Yeah, Elmer, thanks for checking in with us, and have a good evening over there. We will hopefully catch you later on down the road. Anybody else want to check in? One last call for check-ins tonight. Please call W8CRC. Okay, hearing nothing, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this up. My wife cooked dinner. She's got it on a tray behind me. And man, that smells good. Anyway, in preparing to close this net, I would like to thank you all for taking the time to check in with us and joining us tonight. Without your participation, there would be no net. This has been November 8, Oscar Quebec Pop-Up. My name's Pat, and it's been my pleasure to to host this evening's net. At this time, I will go ahead and close the net with almost a record of 12 check-ins. And I'll go ahead and return the repeater to normal and customary amateur radio use. This is Whiskey 8, Charlie Romeo Charlie, closing the net at looks like about 7:38. Y'all have a good week, and hopefully see you if you're. We do have a field day meeting planning thing coming up tomorrow night. Did forget that in the announcements. That'll be at 7:30 on Zoom. Look on Facebook in the website for the link. 7:30 all, and have a good evening from November 8, Oscar Quebec Pop-Up.